Alpha can display in Game 2 to try and change that up.
We are into the draft here for the second game of this series. And Gen.G will once again be second pick on the blue side, KT, with that chance to pick up a coveted first pick option. We'll see what it is going to be and whether the bans are going to change. Just as a reminder, it was Camille, Poppy, and Galio banned by KT, and Jace, Cassio, Orianna banned by Gen.G. Imagine Gen.G probably not all that keen to change what these bans are going to look like. But we'll just have to see as we go down the list. The Vayne going to be the first little move away from what we'd seen in the previous ban list.
Yeah, potentially setting up Perfect to get a good pick, but maybe just covering the fact that Gen.G have second pick and could make things uncomfortable with that. Maybe they want to pick Perfect's pick early on and set him up. It is going to be the Cassiopeia once again, and then the Anivia ban coming through.
I wonder what that means for what they're angling for. Often we see Anivia's banned when a Rise wants to be picked up, but the Rise is obviously already being played. Curious. Could be just Chovy's very good on Anivia, so we want to get rid of it. That's another decent option.
I mean, he has been very good, so denying that I think has value. Orianna open available, though. We've had 3 mid lane bans, and Orianna is left open. I think it'd be kind of reductive if you would have these picks. 3 mid lane bans, only 2. I don't know why I said 3.
I mean, you could play mid lane Poppy if you wanted to.
Yeah, technically 4 if you include Fearless. But either way, Orianna Prio moves up, and it is going to be secured here by BDD. Now, on the other side for Gen.G, in this situation, I feel like the Ezreal, still pretty high priority. We've seen that one be picked up by both of these bot laners. Pretty good success. They're slamming the early Olaf, though.
All right. And this is very interesting. Perfect has been pretty okay with going towards the Zaahen as an answer to the Olaf. We have seen Zaahen be hit or miss into this champion, but you can understand the theory behind why it would work. But honestly, there's a lot of the counter matchups that have been attempted, and they haven't necessarily worked. I think that Jace is still around about a 0% win rate into the Olaf, as the Lee Sin is going to be picked up for Canyon as well.
So I think this is actually really smart, because one of the best picks we've had in the current meta into Lee Sin has been Skarner. But picking Skarner into Olaf feels pretty terrible, because a big part of what you offer is CC, and a big part of what Olaf offers is ignoring CC. So
yeah,
we can see Cuzz still goes for the Skarner into Lee Sin, wanting that good jungle matchup. But it does just mean that you just have limited tools into Olaf, and it is going to be the Zaahen we talked about. This is a pick Perfect, I think, is still undefeated on this season. He's had a tremendous run, been in great form on it.
Yeah.
And obviously into melee champions, you get just tremendous value in the later stages of the game. We had that clip of Kiin in the Mad movie where he just went insane mode on it.
Yeah, I think he went down to 26 health, but then didn't die.
Oh, so he had 25 health spare.
He did. He definitely did.
I think Galio, the fact it's not banned, the fact that you set up for the Lee Sin so well, and once again, bringing some of that global power that we saw them have in Game 1 makes sense for Chovy to go for this.
Yeah, it also really works. Like, we saw yesterday, she really struggled trying to get the Olaf to find some value when he was kind of the only pressure point into T1. If he had have been able to deliver a Galio while he was recklessly running into the enemy team, maybe it would have made a little bit of a difference there. That's kind of the theory that we have here for Gen.G and their composition, with the fact that Kiin can just be backed up at a moment's notice with this Galio option. Kind of cute. Does mean that BDD will have run to the lane most likely, even though Chovy has laned very well on the Galio throughout his career.
I see Bard taken away. There's still Ezreal up and available. It's pretty high value. I think Jhin value starts to feel pretty rough here because there's so many tanky targets. He's just going to struggle to cut through them. But we know our LCK players love Jhin, so yeah. I also would not be surprised for it to come out.
I would be sad if it came out, but not surprised. I'll just have to leave it at that. There's one more ban here on Gen.G's side. We'll see whether it is still going to be FenRir that's focused, as that's a Kalista. I wonder what they're angling for.
I think just recognizing the threat, but I also think that, we often saw Kalista Renata into Ashe Seraphine. I actually think the Ashe Seraphine value is crazy here, and KT read it and ban the Seraphine. Like, Ashe Seraphine on top of these triple bruiser topside for Gen.G would have been so hard to deal with. You just fire the Encore across. So I think it's a smart ban from them to deny that. and really limit the tools. There's still that Ezreal available, though. So, yes, you deny the combo they're potentially looking for, but Ruler Ezreal is a pretty safe bet.
Yeah, I would say so too. And now Duro can play kind of anything that he wants. They can answer the bottom lane with a Karma if they would like extra lane dominance. But you could also throw an engage support in here as well. Give Chovy another option as far as who to land on and things like that as FenRir locks in the Kai'Sa. And one of the classic answers into the Ezreal. We haven't seen it find all that much success, though, as you saw right there. 20% win rate so far in the LCK this year. And not a whole lot of the wins for that 20% have been recent. Also, as Effort does lock away the Nautilus as well.
A short-range AD carry into this melee bruiser comp who are going to be up in your face. I feel like the Nautilus is going to feel very uncomfortable in teamfights here as well. I think KT's draft was fine initially, but these last two picks have not inspired joy. And Duro just going to go for the Leona. More bulk and also pretty good into the Nautilus. And hard to cut through for the Kai'Sa, if I'm being honest. I think the Ezreal pick really helped Gen.G out a lot to add an extra dimension to the composition because they were very short range. That can cause issues, even though Olaf can ignore the Skarner CC. Short range comp into Zaahen, Skarner Orianna can be a bit awkward, but now you can play around the Ezreal poke. You still have the sort of dive threat. And I just think that I'm struggling to see if the Kai'Sa and Nautilus are going to get the value they really wanted out of here because, you know, you're looking to dive in. There's so much bulk in the way. Nautilus is not just going to be able to charge through this front line that Gen.G has and set up for the Kai'Sa.
Yeah, I mean, at least you can get away from the Olaf if you've tagged somebody else, if somebody else has tagged somebody else in the team fight to give you sort of an avenue out, but that can be dangerous. As CGV, we do sell hot dogs as well. I guess that is what we're advertising here today. It's a bit of a jump scare there. Sorry to that one fan. The camera guy sometimes has a sense of humor. But these are your compositions. And, Aux, I'm worried. I was here on Sunday. It was lovely to have a 6-game banger. I don't know whether we're heading that direction unless KT can dig deep and find a victory here in this second game. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the rift for game number 2. KT wanting a better showing here this time around. FenRir, the classic, using Jackie Love's skin, and an anchor is going to connect onto Duro already, managing to get the passive proc, and that feels pretty nice.
Yeah, definitely want any advantages they can get down in the bot lane. If bot lane goes the same as last game, it's just over. It's not going to be a good time. Leona, Ezreal specifically, very strong level 2 they have to watch out for. FenRir has gone the cleanse, which is a lot of value in this game into Leona, into Galio. But in lane, you know, if you get stunned by Leona and you cleanse it, you still have the passive on you, you're still taking damage. Barrier has that extra level of survivability in the all-in. So I'm a little bit concerned that that's just not going to help them. I do think it was the right take. But I think they're already in a bit of a deficit in the bot lane 2v2.
Yeah, sort of like being forced to take the cleanse feels bad.
Yeah.
We'll see whether FenRir can utilize it a little bit more effectively here as BDD taking the Winds of War. Chovy with some nice taunt damage on to the Orianna. But one thing that we haven't really spoken about too much is the fact that BDD is a fantastic Orianna player. Gen.G and Gen.G fans will be well aware of it. I mean, he used the Orianna alongside the Azir to carry Gen.G to a lot of success. Effort just going to throw the anchor a little late there as the Zenith Blade was coming in.
The way you can play the matchup of Nautilus into Leona is when Leona's Zenith Blade's in, you can Q and you can catch her out of the Zenith Blade and it keeps her at a healthy distance. She's not in range to Q herself with her stun. I think that's what Effort was going for there, but because Duro had already gone through him, he just hit the wall, which was a funny interaction. But especially when you're playing the lane defensively, you just want to keep Duro checked. If he ever Zenith Blades in, you just Q him. You don't follow up with your own auto because that gets you in range to be stunned. You just kind of Q, maybe throw an E down and disengage from it. It's all about keeping the Leona out of melee range of you. She beats a lot of champions in melee range, especially Nautilus, because she's tankier, and his stun cooldown is so low, and the extra damage to the passive too.
Yeah. And you also have Ruler there as well, who can proc the sunlight that she's throwing on everyone and doing all that sort of stuff. So it is a dangerous lane to be in, especially when you also have an engaged support on your side. Can be a little bit different with some enchanters, but we don't have any of those in the game. As Canyon does take down the Rift Scuttler here on the bottom side of the map. Looks for a little bit of an invade, but there is nothing here to take, so he is just going to go back home. Currently one camp in the lead, because we'll be able to equalize that one very, very quickly. So he does scry the enemy jungle before heading on back home. So no shenanigans, no funny business as far as our junglers are concerned so far in this game, as Canyon makes his way towards the top lane after that clear. BDD with another little taunt from Chovy. And now Kiin looking for the possible all-in angle. Doesn't pop the ghost. In fact, doesn't pop anything. Just as soon as he misses an undertow, starts walking away. Hasn't overinvested as Cuzz down towards this bottom lane. Duro is going to get the Eclipse down and actually looks for a little bit of a re-engage after taking a lot of damage down to about 250 as Cuzz had already backed away. Was looking for his Gromp. And he sticks around on his camp, so that is not going to be a potential counter opportunity here for KT.
Yeah, that situation where Effort Q's in, doesn't have the tool to disengage, already in melee range. You can see...
Oh, Duro was looking for it.
Yeah, I think you'd probably get the cleanse if it connected, but I don't think the kill would be that easy to pull off. But was fishing for maybe a summoner there and was hoping to disengage after. I think the top lane matchup as well is interesting because into Olaf specifically, if you're ever running away from him, then he just gets to axe you and keep walking away. We saw Perfect in a bit of trouble there because of that until he dodged the axe. But if Olaf throws an axe like he has here, and then he has to back off, he's in a really bad position because you can't chain together those axes. So can go a bit one way or the other depending on who has the momentum in the lane. And obviously both of these champions can technically thrive in melee range.
Oh, Justice Punch comes in. There's the taunt. Has to be flashed here by BDD. Chovy is just straight up winning the 1v1 in mid lane as pre-6 Galio. Obviously, 6 doesn't really help him in lane. But it's still kind of nutty that they've been able to make that one happen. FenRir taking a bit of damage here as well as the Ruler Arcane shifts forward with impunity. And this is Gen.G just kind of winning passively so far.
I think BDD just can...
Oh dear, FenRir is going to take a lot of damage. Canyon, though, does get Chain CC'd. We'll have to walk away. Void Seeker does come on through, only level 4. So no Killer Instinct up for FenRir to follow.
So this does give a window for KT, because Cuzz is healthy, to potentially look at this dragon. But the thing is, FenRir has to recall, so you lose out some pressure there. And I think Gen.G's bot lane doing a good job of forcing Cuzz away. Doesn't even get the Scuttle Crab.
Yeah, just going to be Duro and Ruler. Let's start off on that one. I believe Canyon will be going over there, looking to try and grab his level 6. First rate going to be a Chemtech this time around, so not going to have the same soul as game number 1. We'll see what the next one's going to be after that, depending on whether or not this one is going to be started. Does look like Canyon is over there for the moment. As Ruler crashes this massive wave into this turret and has a 20 CS advantage before this minion wave does get flamed. But look at this, missing like most of these creeps is FenRir. Pretty unfortunate. There's the anchor connecting onto Duro, but he's got Eclipse, he's got Aftershock. You just don't do damage to Leona, man. It's so annoying.
Also, a big part of Leona is the fact that her Eclipse, when they changed it so it like reduces, like has flat damage reduction on it. It's not just the resistances, but it's like it has each level. So like rank 5, it is 24 flat damage reduction against a Kai'Sa specifically. Shoots all those missiles.
Yeah,
it just completely neuters the damage of it.
And it's a similar theory to that of the Amumu support, right? That was picked into Kai'Sa almost, and Zeri, right?
I think like, Zeri, yeah, that was
these champions that just do a lot of little hits.
Yeah,
similar theory there. As it wasn't the Kai'Sa, it was the Zeri originally, but it's the same school of thought.
Same concept, yeah. I mean, I think the Zeri one was hilarious in Amumu because you legit just did 0 damage.
It really didn't work very well.
Here it's mostly the Q, but obviously Kai'Sa also likes to attack fast, so it's a lot about building up the passive. And the passive is also execute damage, which you have to get them low to get the value out of that.
Well, Kiin running around on 50%, but so is Perfect. Both of these top laners are going to look kind of close to death throughout a lot of this laning phase. And we'll check in here or there, but I don't know whether there is going to be all that much of an all-in angle because these guys are both very good at their respective champs. I do want to say props to Duro for picking Beryl's skin, because when Beryl was playing Leona after he won Worlds the first time, he just didn't use it.
Yeah.
He really liked that, the other one. What was it? The it was one of the release skins, the like red and dark silver, like red and chrome one. Every single time he just played that skin. And I'm like, your skin's really cool. Yeah, the Iron Solari one. Yeah. I was like thinking, is it Iron Solari? Because I'm pretty sure that's also a locket that's in the game. But I think it might actually just be that, as the grubs are claimed here by Canyon. There's a possible engage, but the Impale gets avoided, and now Duro finds the angle. He does get slammed into the wall, though. This is an awkward moment for the Leona, who gets out! Killer Instinct from FenRir, and they all dive on top of him. Justice Punch comes in. He's emoting as they go 1-for-1. But still, I think KT are kind of okay with it, because they'll find Canyon as well. And Cuzz locks up the second.
So even with the rough start for KT in that fight, they end up coming out ahead. FenRir actually getting some value on the Kai'Sa there, while the rest of the team just kind of move forward and take targets one at a time. That Justice Punch was kind of crazy from Chovy. It reminds me, I don't know, I'm gonna say this, but there was this one years ago from Faker against a Shen where he Justice Punch to dodge a taunt. Kind of felt like those vibes.
Yeah.
So clean. And then here, we actually see the buff on the Shockwave from Duro with the Zenith play, but he ends up in this really precarious spot. And BDD is just kind of at the side, free-hitting. FenRir dives in and just grabs so much attention. And at this point, Canyon's so low, Kiin has to run away. And I think, honestly, FenRir did a good job of just dragging attention away from the backline.
Yeah, and so will sacrifice himself, but they managed to claim another kill here as well onto Canyon, who is now behind as far as gold is concerned in comparison to Cuzz, who has gone the bargain bin build again. We do see a lot of Heartsteel first out of our Skarners. Cuzz has been enjoying this one instead. Bandlepipe second is generally what you decide to go. Then you can do other big tanky items after that, but just gives you a big burst of stats in the earlier stages.
Yeah, we did see Protoplasm nerfed quite a bit. It used to be insane. I feel like you just had this item that's like, okay, you're immortal. Is a fair bit weaker now, but still gives you a lot of effective HP on the back of the item. Eclipse coming through for Canyon, though.
Yeah.
Heals percentage HP, so pretty good in that regard. But now no summoners for FenRir means this lane is just really hard to be aggressive in. Do see KT looking towards the dragon right now.
They have a lot of vision around it too, so they've done their homework. Crash does come in here though for Gen.G, who have the ability to now move up the river. And that is an engage onto Effort. Solar Flare is going to connect as well, as Effort gets the depth charge down, but does have to get out of there. Now Cuzz flies in. Heroic Entrance comes down. There's the knock-up, max range after the kick comes in, and Canyon just gets himself out of there. Cuzz does keep himself alive, but BDD just gets caught in the crossfire and destroyed.
Just feels like the threat was shifting from player to player to player. It's like, okay, Effort's out. Now Cuzz is the focus. Cuzz is out. Now BDD's the focus. And unfortunately, BDD didn't have anyone else to shift that onto and just ends up going down.
Didn't even see a flash angle, I guess.
No, so pretty unfortunate there for KT to just lose them the dragon and put them a bit further behind. It's going to be Chemtech into Hextech, so...
No Tech Dragon Souls this time.
No, and honestly, Chemtech could have been pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Whenever there's an Olaf and a Zaahen. Oh, okay! Okay! Kiin just turns it around and kills. I thought I had a second to, like, finish my sentence.
Yeah, I think Perfect was kind of for the mindset of, okay, I think Galio's moving in here. I have to try and find the all-in, but then just die.
He did. I mean, it was more of an all-out without being Cassante.
Yeah. So here, a lot of CC focus and damage on the Effort. He has to flash away. But then with the Galio coming in, they can just turn onto Cuzz. I also like the kick from Canyon against the terrain, so he's still in the hero's entrance. And then BDD just gets caught out here on the back end. Yeah, there was still the ult available for Perfect. So I think you had to throw that down at some point if you're looking for the all-in. If you're not, if you're just accepting your fate, then I guess at least he denied the assist from Chovy.
Yeah,
but it doesn't
to be said about that.
Feel too great overall.
I think that he just didn't expect to die that quickly.
Yeah.
I would assume.
You know what? Ran out of health.
Yeah, it does. It does. Maybe he was like, oh, that 1% crit rune. That's probably what he was said in chat immediately afterwards or in comments.
Yeah.
I hope so anyway. Maybe he's been playing too much Classic. Because a lot of these young guns, you know, just weren't around when a lot of these champions were in their infancy, you know? Maybe he wanted to learn a little bit. That's all right. Wave going to get cleared here by Chovy. Throws the Winds of War over. And this next dragon, 3 minutes away. It's going to be a little bit of a while as Kiin, I mean, he's got his Hex Plate. He's just very happy to brawl. 6 seconds until that ulti's back up again. True Shot Barrage is just going to annoy Effort as he walks up the river. And Gen.G, 2.3k the advantage. And if the last game's anything to go by, I just don't see them really giving this up without KT finding some phenomenal angles here in this game. At least this time I feel like FenRir might be able to be an impact, to find an angle here, but because he's not 2.5k behind at 13 minutes.
Yeah, my struggle is that there's just this big front line in front of you that I just don't think you can cut through. But obviously Kai'Sa wants to be diving the back line, but how are you reaching the Ezreal is my question. Who's setting it up? So maybe a tough one, especially with how strong Kiin is going to be, having just taken that tower. 1.3k gold lead just for him.
Yeah, that's large. And it's an Olaf as well. We know what he can do with the money. Going to be looking for item number 2 very, very quickly. As FenRir, oh man, actually eating all of the damage from Ruler. He just wants one more Arcane Shift. Doesn't quite get it. Didn't find the Mystic Shot either, so FenRir will live for now, but this wave, well and truly under Gen.G's control.
Well, it does take a tower hit, but just keeping the pressure up mid lane. And it's kind of hard to see some recourse coming through. Ezreal being so safe, Cuzz no flash, Effort no flash, and Ruler having his. Not easy to set something up here. They are trying to get vision around the river. They do have a wall that's a bit deeper behind that could potentially work, but no TP for Perfect. So no real option there right now.
Yeah, Kiin with full control of top side of the map. That's the crazy thing. There's not a lot of vision around the Herald, as Perfect is going to take a lot of damage, and Gen.G don't need vision around the Herald because Kiin is just so massive. They're going to engage onto Effort, though. Shockwave onto 2, but it does so little damage. Chovy looks for a Justice Punch angle. Actually, Justice punches into the Impale, but FenRir just gets turned on, and now the Ragnarok, the Ghost, the Olaf just runs through the wall to take down Cuzz. That was so funny. Hits him as Cuzz is trying to drive his way out. And Effort, yeah, this is a little bit of an I'm in danger type moment, as Duro is going to slow him down, and Effort might just get escorted back to his base.
Will be able to walk away, but the rest of his team not so lucky. And I just think FenRir was in an impossible position there.
I thought you were going to call him an imposter. He's not. No.
He was in a pretty impossible position there. Nowhere really to go. And Gen.G now with a 5,000 gold lead.
This reminds me of yesterday.
At least they got kills.
Yeah, that's true. This may not be the least kills in the league this time around.
But yeah, so fight starts with KT going aggressive here. But the Galio ult comes down. This time Canyon doesn't kick Effort into terrain, so he doesn't get caught by the Galio ult, but they turn on FenRir. FenRir cleanses, but then where's he going? Up there, down there, doesn't matter, there's an Olaf on you. This time, we don't get to see the funny moment with Olaf just so angry he could run through walls. Which is a definite highlight.
Yeah, that was very funny. Does use all of his summoners, I guess. That's something to bear in mind, as there is an engage potentially here on the Duro, who does respect the Impale and flashes away. The Drake not going to get completed just yet, as they do turn this into Canyon. True Shot Barrage, a little bit of damage here as the Drake is going to lose its patience, but will recharge that. And there goes the Dragon over towards Gen.G. That's double Dragon into Cloud. They're going to be running real quickly on the map this time. And I don't even know whether Killer Instinct is going to be enough to get him away from Galio.
Olaf with Cloud Soul.
Yeah, man.
Oh my god. It's
Perma-Ghost. He's just got Perma-Ghost.
And then he ults with the Hex Blade as well, and he just max speed.
He is zooming.
Okay, well, it's fine. It's still 2 dragons away. They have a 5,000 gold lead.
And, you know, at least about the Cloud Soul thing, KT might lose the game before Cloud Soul even comes through.
I think the mindset you have to have as KT in this moment would be like, look, yes, they have a large gold advantage, but we've seen an LCK team throw a much bigger gold advantage.
There you go.
You know which team that was?
Themselves.
Yes.
Perfect. And Perfect is right here. Yeah,
right,
he's right there. He is going to avoid that axe. Duro's making his way down. And Perfect won't have to use his flash or anything like that. Kiin doesn't have his, nor does he have his ghost, and so isn't going to go for the all-in.
I think to me, I think the vibe I'm getting is that Gen.G just really wanted to get Friars Group back on as soon as possible, so they're speeding up this series
Yeah.
to the maximum.
They're just trying to get more fans, aren't they? You know, because that's what everyone wants, really, is just as much Rise Group as we can possibly get. I see you, Gen.G.
Mandate comes through for Chovy, so insane amounts of ability haste on most of his abilities. Quantum Spike's kind of coming through for a few members of Gen.G. So Perfect finishes his plated steel caps. Kiin finishes the Stride Breaker.
Oh no!
Also, that's a full mana immune just completed there for Ruler.
Effort is going to get taunted. Does get the dredge line off before that does come on through. Cuzz will be able to claim his Raptor, so there is at least that. It's the little wins, you know, that we talk about. As Effort, once again, going to have to vacate the area. Gets a ward down, Chovy immediately kills it. And this is very reminiscent of what we saw in game number 1. This is Gen.G going full suffocation mode, right? They've managed to find that big lead, and now they're just not going to throw it away. They're going to make sure that KT falls further and further behind. And yeah, it does kind of look frustrating because there's not the same level of action. True Shot Barrage tries to... Oh my god! That was through Locket, and they just killed him. Cuzz, he's going to get smoked, but still takes down the inner turret in the mid lane. Didn't like the idea of ramming it into the inhibitor turret, so he just steers her out of the way. And Shelly gets a little bit more work done here. They're going to break open the base before 20 minutes. Oh, unless there is enough of a defense. And it looks like KT are at least going to last until that 20-minute mark. Another wave does come through, but Gen.G will just back away.
That was brutal. FenRir still had flash, and it was just like, no, I live these.
Yeah, maybe Effort was like, no, I've got Locket for you, bro. And then he died.
Oh my god, this was brutal.
출발 가겠는데?
Oh my lord.
오호.
Yep.
맛있게 잡네.
Delicious. Indeed. Okay, so 6-2. Maybe, so, what was it, 12 kills was the least? And that's how much we got in the last game? If Gen.G keep playing it like this, it might be a similar story.
Yeah. You know what I'm really starting to think about?
What's that?
Who's POM?
Are you in doubt?
Oh, I mean, you know.
Because wait, Ooh, does Ruler get back-to-back on the week? Is it time for Duro to actually get recognized after his huge performance in the previous series?
I feel like probably not based on LCK.
Is it Kiin? Kiin's been pretty good.
I mean, the game 1 from Ruler and Duro was really good in the
Yeah.
bottom 2v2. But it's just been such a controlled game. Like, that clip there from Ruler on the Ezreal was hype, but the game is long over at this point.
Well, Cuzz going to get engaged on here. There's the Solar Flare. Canyon kicks him back, and Ruler finishes him off. Oh, man, that was like a 1-2-3 punch. Down they go. Effort taking a lot of damage here, and Ruler's got another Arcane Shift. There's the Shockwave avoided with a flash out of Ruler as well. I mean, there's just no way in for KT. Gen.G just toying with him now.
Ruler heard me speaking. He heard me talking about POM. He's like, you know what? I'll make a case.
Yeah.
Putting on a bit of a clinic on the Ezreal here.
4-0-1. They move to 10 kills. We might break that record, I think. And it's not going to be the lowest kills so far in the LCK. Let's have a look at it one more time, though, because this combo between Canyon and Ruler is just so beautiful.
It's so slick. The ward hop, kick, Q, follow-up, and then Ruler finishes the damage. And then, unfortunately, Effort tries to make his escape. Gets taken down in the flash out of Shockwave at the back end, given no recourse, really, to KT.
No option at all. 2.6 thousand gold going to be the lead here for Ruler alone. The 10,000 gold lead at 22.5 minutes. The Baron is taken without any response because I believe Cuzz was just respawning. And Gen.G, I mean, they can go over and get themselves a Cloud Soul point if they want to, but I'd imagine that sieging is probably more value. And protecting all of these wards that they have littered through the KT jungle, I think is still a great idea, right? Make sure that you just keep them there so that they can never farm a camp, and you will just always extend the lead over and over again. It is a slow burn, it is methodical. I can't say words properly, but Gen.G are so incredibly good at it, and it just feels so hopeless if you're KT.
Yeah. I don't see the angle.
No, I can't quite find it.
At least last game, they were like, okay, let everyone just engage onto this primary target. But fortunately, then it was a mobile cog more. This time, it's not just the fact that it's an Ezreal, but also, like, Skarner and Nautilus need to actually get close to you. And I just think if you run towards Ruler, he'll die on the way.
Well, perfect.
As demonstrated.
He's teleporting in. Ever gets another extra bit of shield and will be able to keep himself alive, but cannot keep the turret alive. That's going to be 2 inhibitors very quickly removed. And there are a lot of minions here. Let's see whether they actually go for the siege. It is a 5 versus 5. KT with an opportunity to try and find an angle here. And it looks like Cuzz is trying to find an angle. Oh, beautiful Justice Punch there from Chovy to buffer the CC. Out of this Zaahen. Effort might be able to get something here as he does find an anchor, but the depth charge remains up and available. Hasn't committed to it yet, and he may actually just die by accident if there's another True Shot Barrage to fly out. Duro's health bar is relatively low, but they've taken the first Nexus turret already. And KT still yet to really pull the trigger. They're just trying to trim these waves and try and keep this last turret alive. But KT, you're bleeding. You have to go for something, otherwise you're just rolling over and dying here in this game. Kiin still with Ragnarok. They still have so many tools. True Shot Barrage onto FenRir. And there goes the turret. Effort going to be taken down. Killer Instinct into the back line, but Olaf has one of those too as he flashes on top of BDD and looks to cut him down. The Olaf might die, but actually no, he's not going to. He's just going to hit minions, get his health bar back, finds himself a Zaahen that's just put in front of him so he can lifesteal, and now BDD watches as his Nexus goes down. He will be spared, but someone has to send the message that Gen.G is back.
They most certainly are. This is the Gen.G that we've seen many times before in the LCK.